I have remained silent on this long enough. No longer. Hi, I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick, and today we're going to talk about why GoFundMe's and such things drive me up a wall. Why do they drive me up a wall? Well, we're going to start with the GoFundMe's. Now, granted, GoFundMe was established as a way to put money together for such things as charity and whatnot. And in that vehicle, in the charitable vehicle, it is an excellent means of raising money. It is simply an aggregation tool. It's the same thing that you would do when you said, Little Johnny broke his leg. Please put money in the hat. Pay for my haircut. Good Lord. Put money in the hat for little Johnny. His family is really struggling and we'd like to help them out. GoFundMe is simply an aggregation tool. It's like that. But this crowdfunding thing has gotten out of hand. I see it all the time for people to raise money for movies. It is a common enough practice that I cannot demonize the practice totally. You raise the money and you get your movie done. Congratulations, right? You did it. But I am very much against that. Why? Because when I am raising money for little Timmy, or I'm raising money for community theater, I can go and see that little Timmy is benefiting from the money. If a Shakespeare in the Park company is sending a hat around to raise money, which they do, you can argue that the community theater is a community good, that the community benefits from being able to see Shakespeare specifically in a park. I don't know what the argument is for it as a community good, but that is the argument. It has trickled its way into independent filmmaking in many ways, simply because it is very difficult for independent filmmakers with little experience to raise money. To the independent filmmaker who uses this to raise money, I grant you, I understand. It is a very difficult model to raise money. You have to ask people to give money to something that they may never see. It is very difficult to do. However, the raising of equity funding is an important skill that in a business you simply cannot bypass. You cannot simply bypass learning that skill. And importantly, learning the soft skills that lead to you being able to showcase the idea for a product. And don't get me wrong, art is art, but you're building a product and a vision that allows that person to see, I can possibly get, follow me on this, a return on my investment. That is why people invest in things, for the ROI. What you are doing when you are crowdfunding is you are removing that aspect. You're removing the scary aspect of having to say to somebody, hey, I'd like you to invest in what I'm doing. Here is why I think you will get a return on your investment. Here are the risks associated with the investment. You also, when you do an equity raise, not a crowdfunding raise, you give them a stake in the equity of the project. For example, let's say you have an LLC. I may have lost some of you there, but stay with me. An LLC is simply a structure that has shares built into it. Those shares total up to 100%. When you do an equity raise, as part of that, you give away some of those shares. Anything less than 100%, you can give away, Jim got 2, James got 3, and so on and so forth, reserving some of those shares for yourself because, of course, you are the filmmaker. You're doing the actual work. They are simply writing the check. That's harder to do. You have to maintain the LLC. You have to file taxes on the LLC. But it's an important aspect of protecting people's investment in some way, shape, or form. If you benefit, you all benefit together, and you benefit proportionately to what you put in. And if you lose, well, that loss then becomes something they can write off on their taxes as well. It is what they call not a total loss. When you do the crowdfunding means of raising money, what you are doing is you are robbing people of that ability and simply saying, give me money so I can have fun. Give me money so I can have fun. But at least the filmmakers are doing something worthwhile. They're creating art that will build their resume, that will lead to something later on. At least they're doing that, and we could possibly make the argument that they're doing a resume building exercise that will allow them to raise more money for people, raise more money from people later, but make those also people more money later. Good Lord, when we get down to the content creators who do this, oh, it makes me angry. It really rustles my jimmies. Why does it rustle my jimmies? Because you see this all the time on content creators apps. Here's my Cash App. Buy me a cup of coffee. Why? Why would someone buy you a cup of coffee? What have you done to deserve the cup of coffee? If you say, well, I make fun videos, maybe they want to buy me a cup of coffee for that. No, the videos are out there for free. You cannot say a product is free and then say, well, if that was a funny video, you should buy me a cup of coffee. No, not how that works. I'm sorry, my friend. You are just being ridiculous. You're just being very ridiculous and very, very silly. And I don't think anyone should do it. The problem is they do it. I don't know when we got into this culture of just handing our hard-earned money away, and I don't know when in an inflationary market we decided that it was a good idea for us to just give our money away to random people, but we do it. I don't know why we do it. I don't know how we do it. It is a mistake. Never, ever, ever do it. It's never worth it, number one. Number two, just why? Just why? And the worst part is you see this on content creators across the spectrum. I've made fun of OnlyFans content creators on my platform here before, but it's not just them too. You see it with a lot of purportedly, I am sad to say it, you see it with a lot of purportedly Christian content creators who would do better to perhaps encourage people to tithe to their local churches, to participate in the local church. Because when you do things like that, that is biblical. When you say, hey, we shall tithe. I tithe, let's tithe. Let's tithe together. Let's work on that. That's setting a mission. That's setting a reasonable goal. And people who are non-Christian will argue, like, well, why are you tithing to the local church? It's not just the church. Charitable giving of any kind counts as a tithe. That is what God meant. He meant to give to those less fortunate. If you make videos on your cell phone, you are not the less fortunate. You have a cell phone and cell phone service. You're doing fine. The reality is that this makes me so angry because it subverts a very carefully designed business model that is carefully designed to allow everyone to take advantage of it. And that taking advantage is a boon. It's helpful. It creates an economy. And it locks in the ability for people to invest in something at a low risk level and a low complication level. Not everyone can invest in the stock market, right? They say everyone can, but not everyone can because it's both a long game and it's a very sophisticated game. You really have to know what you're doing to make the stock market work for you. Finance bros, get off my channel. No, not talking to you. You're dillweeds anyway. Real estate, unless you have a lot of money or it's your full-time job, it's a terrible investment. It's not passive income. It's not a thing. And so instead of trying to find means of income, which could include investments and investments in such things as LLCs and up and coming businesses, those are private raises. And while they carry a great deal of risk, they do carry also a great deal of success. And if you do it correctly, what you're doing is you're investing in the potential you see in someone you know and like. When you do crowdfunding through these platforms, you've removed the element of actually being able to reap the reward of your faith in the person you believe in. They've essentially said, hey, remember how you have faith in me? Well, just give me that money and I won't pay you back ever at any point. There will be no point at which I pay you back. It'll be great. And we do it because we are foolish. That is my argument for why crowdfunding is foolish. If you liked it, like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, don't like and subscribe. Either way, I'm not going to ask you to give me money, right? The money that I make on this channel will purely be from whatever advertisements want to be on this channel. At the moment, there are 0 advertisements, at least as far as I know. YouTube hasn't paid me for any of the advertisements, if there are any. So if you're getting ads before my videos, I do sincerely apologize. I am just as frustrated as you are. But anyways, like and subscribe if you liked it. Don't like and subscribe if you don't like it. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Wow, I messed up my own sign out. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.